evening all, welcome to some more of this we call Kicking Dust. Oh bugger, it's called Total Dust, isn't it? It's been a while, my friends, it's been a while. Yeah, work's killer at the moment, and I mean absolute killer. I think it's one of these things where you do think to yourself, should you ever mix your hobby and your career? I do think that often. Let's have a chat for a minute, because we'll get to the dust bit in a minute. Because it's like, I had a friend, right, who was a gifted mechanic, and I mean like truly gifted. He was a bit of an arrogant git as well, but he was funny, you know, he was very capable, and his biggest hobby was cars. So he loved cars, and he also wanted to have a career doing things with cars. And I don't mean that in a rude way. So he basically became, I kid you not, I think principal mechanic of a very famous rally company, which I cannot mention because then it's very obvious who I'm talking about. But I guess it probably is anyway. But this, you know, it kind of rhymes with Doobaroo. Yeah, know what I'm on about? And he was part of the mechanical team for that. Anyway, long story short, he hated it. He basically woke up, went to do his job, and his job was his hobby, and it sounded all nice and that. And lo and behold, eventually he kind of just got to the point where he hated his hobby and he hated his career. So I kind of cite this because that's what I'm going through at the moment. My job and my hobbies are very separate, and I think I'm going to keep them that way. I think professional YouTubers must have a hell of a time. Firstly, they all get mega fat. That's because they never go out. They just sit there making videos every 15 seconds. I don't think that's, well, it kind of is me at times, but I wouldn't want to do that because that'd probably drive me insane. But I think certainly it's a good thing to have like a job that you kind of say, oh, got to wake up and do my flipping job, because it then means that you can have more fun in your off time. So there we go. Anyway, quick little rambling story for you. So one of the things I do look forward to every week is sitting down and doing these videos. It's a lovely Sunday morning. Slightly hungover. Yeah, slightly hungover. And drinking a cup of tea, which is already too cold for my liking. But anyway, we're at the point where we're finally doing some videos again. So thank you for not unsubscribing, you faithful lot, you. We do try and do a video a day. That's always been our target, and that's actually quite easy when you think about it. You know, I would urge people, if you're interested in having a go at YouTube, just to do it. It's surprisingly fun. Anyway, so let's talk dust. Oh bugger! I just realised this is probably going to have to be the warbarge, the Warlords review. Oh flipping heck! We'll probably do a more detailed one eventually. I completely forgot that Warlords was out. I have played it. I quite like it. It's alright. It's nice to see that Clash of Clans is making its way into the Dust universe. If you don't know what I mean, let me try and succinctly explain it with my croaky voice. Effectively what happens in Clash of Clans is you build a base. That base has got ticking clocks all over it, and you basically are part of a, quote, freemium experience. Freemium means free, but if you want, you can pay to boost. And that's kind of what's happening with the old barge thing, because the barge is just effectively a base that you then have the ability to upgrade. GG CCP on the 8-bit 2D capture from a game from 1980s for doing the the thingamajig screen. What's it for the barge? Yeah, good job on that. I think it'd have been even funnier if you hadn't have made it scroll in the background. You see spaces scrolling, but again, it's scrolling as in a way that makes it look like the warbarge is just eternally limping in a circle. If you know what I mean. I did also notice that it's a bit like Scooby-Doo. You know, in Scooby-Doo when they go and run away from the ghost, or Old Man Jacobs under a sheet, and they can't figure that frickin' out. And they start running, and then all of a sudden the scenery just repeats behind them. And it's just because, yeah, as they're running, it's just constantly the same scenery. Oh, it makes me smile. So that kind of really got my my amusement factor up, as the production values were, I think, questionable, but there we go. The idea of the barge is very nice. It's a very clever way to, again, make people pay some money for the game. I have no issue with that. I would rather see CCP successful with a few quid in the bank. Therefore, their uppers will notice that this game does make money. Therefore, please don't switch it off. And I think that's kind of where I'm going with it. But you know, the thing is, you can't really kind of have a go at them because it's free. The game is free. You don't have to pay. Yes, people can pay, and yes, people will get slight advantage from doing same. But the reality is that it's marginal. Okay, so somebody who's paid like what $1,000 to upgrade their warbarge. Firstly, all I could say to that is, wow, $1,000. Sure, you couldn't have spent that on something more important. And secondly, I'd probably say, fair play if that's what you want to do. It's your money. It's a free world. Well, it's not really, but you can do what you like. So I think the warbarge is a nice idea. I think it's a clever idea. I think there's a lot of potential with that, because that I think will start to unlock, kind of people will look for people with high warbarges, because it will probably be something to do with clones being provided to do free raiding and blah blah. So I like it. It's a great mechanic. It's good. It's actually pretty well implemented as well. At the moment I don't have any issues with it. I don't think it's overpowered. I don't think there's anything too wrong with it, to be honest. I like it. We'll see how it maybe develops. I'm curious to see what it will go on to go and do, but I think at the moment it's looking pretty good. What else is going on in Warlords? Do you know? I don't know. I honestly do not know. I think the games are fun, and we've had a good few games. It's funny story for you. I started recording again, and I must have played probably about 10 matches, pretty good matches as well, with internet personalities such as Jolly and Bam and others, and it was just good games, really good games. And I was sitting back and leaning and stroking my neckbeard saying, now that was a good game, I'm glad I recorded that one. And it turns out that funnily enough I didn't. It turns out that when you reload your PC and you upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 8, Hitler himself comes to life and gets into your computer and starts messing with stuff. Everything has gone completely doolally with my upgrade. So I thought I was recording. It looked like I was recording, and then when I came to go and look at the file footage, it turned out nope, it wasn't. It was recording my desktop. It was recording a website I had opened, which could have been a bit dodgy, and it was just recording odd things. So I don't know what the hell is going on there, but I'll fix it and we'll start playing again. There's loads of really good matches we've had lately. In fact, Delboy and I ripped it up in the tanks. We had some good fun. Tanking is pretty fun, I must admit. Generally, I would say the game feels more balanced than maybe it has for a long time. I honestly couldn't put anything, I couldn't put my finger on anything and say, that's broken, fix it. I think there's a few annoying things, but generally I think you stand a good chance of killing someone if you so wish to. So let's talk about FanFest. That's on its way. Ugh. That's all I can say about that. It's nice. I like the idea of having FanFest. It really is a shame they're not talking about Dust. I think that maybe shows that there's problems, etc. But I don't know. What can you do? It would be kind of a shame to have a celebration of CCP as a company and not acknowledge that actually Dust is a product of that. So I would hope, and this is just a hope, that CCP acknowledge Dust in some form or another, at least in their introduction or their ending keynotes. And if they don't, then quite frankly, that's remiss of them, but we'll see. FanFest is always a tricky one, because really that's where you're pretty much updated on the ideas and the plans and the thought and the key, the way forward for the whole game, for the next God knows how long. So, I really am hoping that I hope they sort it. I really do. I have a horrible feeling that they're going to just maybe glaze over it slightly. I don't know why. Again, it's a product of theirs. It seems to be doing okay. It's not great. It's not, but it's not as bad as Destiny. And it's like, surely that, would be a good thing to talk about. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? So I think there's a lot really kind of that's going to happen this year with a lot of these games. I think generally the industry seems like it's on a bit of a wobble at the moment as well. There's loads of games coming out, but it seems your slot of enjoyment is 2 weeks before another game is released that completely grabs your attention. So for example, H1Z1 came out, and 2 weeks later Battlefield Hardline comes out. And these are all things that just take your focus. They make it so that it's very difficult for a group of gamers to actually embed into a game and get up on it, if that makes sense. So you're constantly acting as a migratory tribe people moving from game to game, which is an interesting concept. And I think, to be honest, it's the way the market has produced content now, is that they know when every other game is being released, because they do talk about this. And I suspect they do a little bit of a discussion stroke deal with each other that says, right, okay, well, if you release now, I'll release in 2 weeks, and then you release that, and then we release this, and you do that, and so on. And that means that there is a constant stream of revenue. Okay, so if 2 games are released at once, there is a chance that one game company won't get the money for it because you'll buy one and not the other. And that is a big issue. So I suspect there is a level of collusion. It's not illegal, but there's a level of collusion that just ensures that one game company doesn't, kind of poop on the one of the other. They do this in films. So right now in the UK, Jupiter Ascendant, is that what it's called? One with Mila Kunis and Sean Bean, who obviously is going to die in it. And he, that film was actually finished something like 3 or 4 years ago. It was finished years and years ago. And interestingly enough, it's just never been released. I think this was because they were waiting for the ideal slot in the schedules. And that's pretty much how gaming is as well. So there we go. We'll see how it pans out. I'm curious to see what CCP will say, if anything, about Dust. It is kind of sucky the CPM aren't going. I would have thought that one of the things of being a CPM is that you kind of you kind of represent the community a bit. So they're basically saying we don't want the community coming. It just feels wrong. It doesn't make much sense. So I'm kind of surprised, and they have to fund their own ticket, which again I imagine a lot of them are going to go anyway because of Eve. Lol. But I'm kind of curious to know why they weren't invited. Really, I think if you can't even say you can afford like 3 or 4 grand to send that group over, then wow, that's not good. Anyway, we'll see. Let's see how it goes. Look at me kamikaze with my shotty gunny. I'm terrible at it, I know, but I just wanted to sort of fear them up a bit as they shot me down. So there we go. Fun times. Dust is fun. Come play it. That should just be the name of the video. Dust is fun. Come play it. I'm having fun playing it again. Never stop playing it, to be honest. But it is good. I think there's a lot here to enjoy. Warlords is an interesting one. We'll do a video on it if I can be bothered. We'll do a video on it and just show maybe the function. I'll show you my warbarge, which is still unupgraded. It's still pretty ghetto. It's a ghetto car, so yeah. And wow, terrible score for me. Look at that, 0.5 KD ratio, because it matters to me, as you all know. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.